When do I start talking?
I think now.
I'm going to start talking now.
You need to explain what you're doing.
If you would wait a minute, what did I say? I'm trying to show Michael how to make spaghetti sauce with meatballs.
With meatballs. Good. She did her homework, or she remembered what I said.
Pain in the butt. Better watch it, or I'll
Shut up and get
discontinue
cooking.
what I'm doing. You cut up onion. This is the onion that's going to be going in the meatball. You gonna hold it there the whole time?
Yes. Gotta get this shit right.
The other onion will go into the sauce itself.
A whole other onion?
We wait till that. We get 2 good slices of onion.
Okay, one step at a time. Is this the sauce?
This is meatballs.
Meatballs.
I said I was making them.
Okay, make the meatballs then.
I'm now going to get 2 pounds of ground meat.
Oh, I should have hooked up my new microphone to this to see if that works.
2 pounds of ground meat.
£2 of ground meat.
That's what I am making because he wants some of this to take back with him. I am making more than you really have to make.
Unless you want to eat spaghetti forever.
No, please.
You don't like spaghetti?
Not forever.
Then stay out of this conversation.
You're not big into spaghetti.
The dogs would like spaghetti forever.
Now I need breadcrumbs.
This is the part where you forget that you didn't have enough breadcrumbs.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Just giving you a hard time.
For every pound of ground meat, you use half a cup of breadcrumbs.
That's important.
Hush.
I'm doing 2.
You don't know how to do this,
I'm doing
Doug. You
2
stay out of
pounds
it.
of meat, so I am doing a full cup of breadcrumbs.
Precision does not matter, apparently.
Oh, anytime you do something like this, it can be wishy-washy.
No.
You got to finesse it. Hey, I told you to be quiet.
I have to edit this thing.
Okay.
Edit.
Oh, I meant to-
You're not editing it.
oh, those were the wrong kind. Those were the panko ones. I didn't really want panko.
Oh, hey.
But
She
the
already screwed
regular
up the recipe.
Or panko were fine. Jesus.
This is where you finesse it.
Who cares? It's no big deal. For each pound of meat, 1 egg.
Ew. Who puts eggs in their meatballs?
meatballs. Give it, buddy.
I think there's some things about making meatballs that I didn't want to find out.
Did you edit that out?
You gonna stand there the whole time I'm making this?
Well, if it's part of the process, this is what I'm trying to document.
Oops.
What's the oops?
It fell in. I had to pull it out.
Because we
Break the yolk.
Okay.
And about a quarter of a cup of milk for each pound. So I had about a half a cup. Because I'm doubling it.
For 2 pounds of ground beef.
Well, it's gonna make a lot of spaghetti.
The eggs do not count towards your weight. You gotta remember to take your wedding ring off.
Well, the one that they could get slopped in. Okay, hang on, garlic. I have to go to the bathroom.
Well, you could have left that out. I guess we're gonna take a break.
I am now making meatballs.
No, this is my spaghetti.
This is my spaghetti.
No, it's spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
This is my spaghetti.
This is my spaghetti.
Mike,
Oh gosh, you guys are.
you gotta do rehearsals with your mother.
Oh,
Well, yeah, we're probably gonna have to film this again next time.
okay. Now I'm getting garlic out.
Don't look so angry.
This is the garlic for the meatballs. 2 of these little thingies.
You mean cloves?
Cloves, yeah, the little thingies.
And do you chop them up just coarse, fine?
Fine if they're in the meatballs. Because,
You gotta be detailed. Oh, you gotta crush it?
well, if you crush it, the skin comes off much easier.
Well,
Did
that's
you
just
know
because
that?
you're lazy. That
No,
looks like 3 cloves to me.
no, it's 1 clove. It had those
Oh,
other
you crushed
little
it
ones.
into oblivion.
No,
or you
no,
split it
no, no,
into-
no. Sometimes garlic comes with all these little
Sub-cloves?
cloves within the cloves or some shit. I don't know.
Cloveception? That's what they call it these days. If it's
Oh.
something within itself that's repeating, you just say "ception" at the end of it.
Okay. What it is it isn't always just, the clove has several growing together.
Yes, they're cleaving.
They're cleaving?
Yes, they grow and they cleave.
Oh, okay, they grow and they cleave.
Or maybe they don't cleave. Maybe they just grow. And I mean, they get skins between each of them, and then the younger ones are tight packed and they don't have the skins between them. So I figured they cleaved. But I'm not a garlicologist.
Garologist.
Garlologist?
A garologist. Just remember, you don't want it you don't want somebody getting a big hunk of.
What if they like big hunks of garlic? Some people don't have to worry about their breath being bad around other people. Some people have much lonelier lives.
Oh shit!
They're
You're gonna get
just,
philosophizing
over food
philosophical.
preparation.
Okay. Now I put a little bit of thyme.
Show me. A little bit of time. Wait, hold on. Okay, well. I mean, that's really hard to tell exactly how it. Alright, what is this?
Oregano. A quarter of a teaspoon.
That looked like a quarter of a hand spoon.
I want a quarter of a teaspoon.
Alright.
Pepper.
This is the pepper.
This is the pepper, about a quarter of a teaspoon of pepper.
Freshly ground.
Oh God, yes. It's the only kind I use. And about a half a tablespoon of salt.
coarse sea salt is what she prefers.
That's the only cup I have. It's the only stuff I ever use. Trying to make sure I don't forget something. You know, I think
Probably
that's,
will.
oops, excuse me, I have to get the pan that I'm gonna put them in.
Okay.
350 in the oven.
350, preheated.
Yeah, you always have your oven preheated. And an oven, just because it says it turns off and it says it's done, it's not necessarily done. You have to make sure, you have to give it a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you got patience for that.
Well, you just have to leave it in longer then. Pan to put them in.
Is that a ceramic pan or what?
Yeah, you could use any pan as
Okay,
long
well,
as the
it's-
grease doesn't get all over. That's what I've used. Now you just mush it around to make it your molds.
Make a what?
Make it a balls. Meatballs. You're making meatballs.
Okay. I don't know, you said making the malls first.
I said I'm making the balls.
There's a big flock of turkeys back there.
Okay, that has nothing to do with making meatballs.
Yeah, but it has to do with the turkey for Thanksgiving.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I ain't cleaning some turkey off of the backyard to eat.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, right. I don't know how to do this, Judy, don't you? Okay, now the glop is all grouped together. You just take blobs of it out, roll it, put it in the pan. Try to make them all about the same size so that they kind of get done around the same time. You can make little ones, big ones, whatever you want.
I like big ones, but not too big. You gotta make sure that, I mean, do you have to make considerations in size when it comes to getting them thoroughly cooked?
Well, you're going to put them in again. It's got to be done tighter.
They're gonna cook in the spaghetti a
You're
little
going
bit
to cook in
more?
the spaghetti some more.
Okay.
But you can tell when they're done. I mean,
Well, I can't, I've never made these before.
oh.
You gotta talk to me like I'm a... Like
Okay, you just keep rolling these suckers and making them.
Alright. It'll be like big chunks of onions in your meatballs.
They'll disintegrate down as they
Disintegrate?
cook. They come down as they cook.
Okay.
The meatballs kind of fall apart.
Well, that doesn't sound right to me.
Well, it just happens.
They don't disintegrate, they stay as meatballs.
Might I say you always start off by washing your hands. You make sure your hands are clean.
Mm-hmm. Especially since it's 2020 and there's diseases everywhere.
Anytime, Mike. That's how diseases start.
Diseases started with the meatballs.
No, with improperly cooked food.
Now, this is just ground beef.
Yeah, I usually get 93%. It's not the one that's got a lot of fat in it. I don't use 80%.
Okay.
People use that for hamburgers. I don't even
But
use
there was one time that your cooking show made you make like, I think that they had pork in them or something.
Oh, no, that's a meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
If you make a meatloaf, your meatloaf is supposed to be half ground beef and half ground
Okay,
pork.
that'll be another episode.
Oh, do you like meatloaf?
I've never had problems with your meatloaf unless you start messing with your recipe or whatever. You know you do.
What do you mean? I just stand there and throw stuff in. If I haven't got something, you just don't use it, you go to something else.
No, if you don't have something, you go to the store and get what you need.
No. Not when you're standing there cooking.
This is gonna doesn't make any sense.
What doesn't make any sense?
When you're cooking something and you don't have what you need, you just shove something else in there?
That's right.
No.
There's always a substitute.
Unless your pantry's empty.
Well, if your pantry's empty, you got to think about it before you start.
What kind of peasant has an empty pantry?
Actually, I'm reading a book right now about empty pantries.
Oh. Does it call the people who have empty pantries
No,
peasants?
it's in 990 AD in England.
So they were definitely peasants back then.
They were serfs, peasants.
Exactly. That was my point from the beginning. Washing the hands like a good cook. Wash those diseases down the sink. How much time should you give the oven to preheat?
Mine binks when it's preheated.
Okay, and then you give it another minute or two?
I usually give it 5 minutes, but I don't have to. Is he kneeling down there?
He's dealing with his camera, and now the white balance is screwed up because you got these crappy LED lights in here.
You said you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah, you don't pay hardly anything. Oh,
Fern's ready for meatballs.
now.
Just
you're gonna
drop a one meatball.
That's raw meat. I'm not going to give her raw meat.
Yeah, but she's
No, you don't give them raw meat.
She's disease resistant.
Okay, that's the meatballs.
Okay.
Now we're going to make the sauce. Onion.
That's only like what? A fifth of an onion?
Oh, well, it's the leftover onion. I got a whole other one I'm going to cut up.
But we got to talk about quantities here.
I told you 2 good slices of the other. And I'm doing 2 pounds, so I'm going to put more in than you would, because I'm assuming you would only make a pound of it. You don't want.
Yeah, you don't know me very well.
Okay.
Onion number 2.
Well, no, yes, it's the second onion I'm
But
using.
the first one was a partial onion.
Well, it only this time, because that's all that Mike left me. It at one time was a full onion.
Screwing it up.
Well, every onion starts off as a full onion at some point
Right,
in its
if
life.
1 onion per 1 pound of meat.
Okay.
I'm slightly short, but big.
But not giant onions, just normal onions.
Well, if they're giant onions.
And what kind of onions? Sweet onions, yellow onions?
Yeah, I always use, cooking onions I consider are yellow onions.
Okay.
They have more flavor to them. White onions sometimes.
Unless you buy them at Walmart, in which case they have no flavor to them.
That's a white onion.
No, I buy yellow onions sometimes at Walmart and they're terrible.
Right now everything is terrible. You see the sweet potatoes lately?
That is, right now everything is terrible, has been my opinion for a very long time. Even before 2020.
Sweet potatoes are the worst I've ever seen. And green beans were terrible all year.
Those green beans were pretty good last night.
Those, you know what? I've had more good green beans this fall than I've had all along. I'm gonna start crying.
Aaron, you're gonna get stepped on. Don't start crying. You're ruining the mood. So do you chop it up differently depending on whether it goes in the meatball or the sauce?
Nah, just chop it up.
Okay.
Because I don't like those little knot things. It's gonna cook down.
Oh no, Fern, don't eat
She
the
won't.
onions.
She doesn't.
Well,
I
it's
dropped
because
them.
she's probably not suicidal.
She doesn't. She's very good. I don't have to worry about
I
her.
know she's a good dog. It's because I trained her well.
Oh yeah, don't eat the onions like she knows what the hell that
Just like, what else doesn't she eat? Grapes.
Oh, she probably eat them.
And she's not suicidal. She lives a good life.
Except when it comes to chocolate.
No, I thought you said she's immune to chocolate.
That's right.
Black dogs can eat chocolate.
That's right.
God, you guys.
Gotta have interesting commentary, so...
Okay, I'm crying like a baby. My nose is
No,
running.
you don't say you're crying like a baby. You say crying like a little bitch.
Don't
My
say your
nose is-
running
my-
here, making meatballs.
She's sniffing COVID all over everything. Oh, that's right. Wash it off again.
Well, now, oh, I can put them in the oven.
Oh, did it beep?
I don't know the little
You,
light.
you told us that you had to wait for it to beep.
Well, I know it's done because that one thing is not on anymore. And you cook them for like half an hour. Okay.
For like half an hour, or do you cook them for half an hour? Should you... Tiger, shut up! Tiger! Trying to film here. So 30 minutes. Are you going to set a timer?
No,
Because you just remembered what time you put them in? Or you just check up
10
on
to,
them?
isn't it?
No, it's 4:34.
Oh, okay. I'll take them out a little after 5.
When you feel like it?
Yeah.
Do you visually inspect them or what?
So, yeah.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What are you doing there?
Putting olive oil in a pan
What
to
kind
cook.
of olive oil?
Olive oil. Olive
Well,
oil.
yeah, there's all these
This
different...
is the stuff I told you to buy.
Well, you got to say it on camera.
California Olive Ranch olive oil. Oh, where did you find out about that? Oh, on those cooking programs you tell me never to watch. If you buy it at Walmart, it's a really good cooking oil.
Yeah, you're a Walmart shill.
No, I've seen it on several. That's where I finally found it. And it's a little bit less expensive than some, a little bit more than the craft ones. It's olive oil.
So
It's
you
not
put some
water.
olive oil. Do you just like drench that or what?
No, yeah.
You just coat the bottom?
Just coat the bottom.
Okay.
And then you cook them.
On what
Excuse me.
sort of heat?
You got it.
Blasting heat?
No, not on blasting heat. I'm
Okay,
warning the
It
pan.
looks like it's
And you
blasting.
put about 1/4 teaspoon of salt in. And
What does that do?
that makes them sweat out fast.
Okay,
Salt makes the stuff sweat fast,
that makes sense.
which means it's going to cook faster. Put the lid on, and that's the start of it. Now we're going back over here to get more garlic ready.
More garlic. How
Yes.
many cloves of garlic now?
I would put 3 in. But
3 in per pound or per half pound or per 2 pounds for this batch?
two for
2 per
per
pound.
pound.
Okay.
This is the worst part of the whole thing.
That looks like a lot more than 2 per pound.
No, these are these little ones
They're
that were like,
splintering.
these are these little things that,
Okay, they're splintering.
yeah, they're splintering. This one I think is a whole one, maybe. Find out fast. Yeah, this one stayed. It's on a bunch of little ones.
I'm still watching over.
Yeah, but she doesn't eat garlic either. So I've been very lucky.
See, if you had a real cooking show, you would have had all this shit prepped by you.
Not by me, by
For
some.
you by some peasants.
That's right. I don't have a cooking show. And Mr. Peasant, if you're
What did you call me?
Mr. Peasant, if you're the one, you should have prepped all this crap for me.
Well, you didn't. You almost got started without even telling me.
Well, I
Even though
forgot.
oh, you forgot, even though I've been telling you for a week. Oh, hey, I'd like to actually document this so I know how to make spaghetti for myself one of these days. Rather than the shit they sell in the jars.
Some of the jar shit ain't bad.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to buy frozen meatballs either.
Oh, no. Well, you can make your
Plus,
meatballs.
this is...
You can,
I know you can make your meatballs if you know how to make meatballs. Otherwise, I'd have to dig up some shitty recipe off of the internet.
yeah, and I'll tell you the same thing I'm telling you.
No, they would tell you to put all this bullshit in there.
Like what?
I don't know. Are you gonna make me look it up? I'm gonna read you the first recipe that I find on my phone.
Stick.
How to make meatballs.
Meatballs. Spaghetti meatballs.
Alright,
They're going to tell you a deal.
there's the first one.
I'm waiting.
Come on. What the hell? I don't want to watch a video.
Most of it is now.
Oh, Jesus. Why is the internet so slow? Okay.
It's your phone.
How to make meatballs. I want a recipe, not paragraph by paragraph description.
Go ahead.
Half a ground beef.
Half a what?
Half a pound ground beef. Half a pound ground pork.
I told you.
Half a cup dry breadcrumbs. One large egg. Half a cup finely chopped onion. Quarter cup finely chopped Italian flat leaf parsley. Salt and pepper to taste. See, salt and pepper to taste. I'm not going to taste those things until I've cooked them all.
That's why I
So
told
that's stupid. Preheat oven to 400 degrees. You already said 350.
you. Yeah.
Line a baking sheet with parchment paper. You didn't do that. Spray with cooking spray. You didn't do that. Set aside. In bowl, combine ground meats, breadcrumbs, egg, onion, parsley, salt, and pepper. Mix thoroughly. Shape the mixture into 1-inch balls. You said whatever size you want. Bake until no longer pink inside, about 18 to 20 minutes. You said 30 minutes, but you also made
Big ones because you told me
big
to.
ones, and you're making them, or you're cooking them at a lower heat. So, turn on the broiler. Place pan of meatballs 6 to 8 inches from the heat source and broil until brown and crisp. 4 to 5 minutes. Flip and brown the other side also. Remove from oven.
They're broiling and I bake them. I don't like them.
Yeah, see, this is the problem is the recipes online tell you some shit that ends up tasting like, you know, Walmart brand meatballs straight out the freezer. And that's not what I wanted.
Yeah, well.
Try to take a compliment. I'm saying I like your spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh my God, he likes something, Douglas.
Write that down.
I am.
Oh, what's going on over here? Just cooking. Is it burnt yet?
Not yet. You cook them for about 5 minutes till they're
Kind of opaque.
opaque. That's the word. Thank you. Couldn't remember the word. This moving. It's
See,
screwed.
the problem is I don't have one of these pots.
Well, you've got a big pot, don't you?
Oh yeah, but is that like a... Is that considered a Dutch oven or what?
Casserole dish.
Casserole dish? No, that's...
A Dutch oven. I
Okay.
don't.
Is that metal or is it...
It's, what it is, it's an old iron one, but it's got a
Okay.
coating on it. But that's the $40 version of the $400 one that someday I will.
Okay, so it's the version for peasants.
I am now walking to get my tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Fine.
She forgot the tomatoes. You forgot the crackers when you fed the deer again.
Oh, shit.
Take them out.
What you need to do is lay them there right by the stairway.
Looks like you got 3 different types of tomatoes there.
Well, it doesn't, they're tomatoes, that's what you gotta get.
Okay, I mean, there's a lot of different tomatoes you can get.
Yeah, I usually use diced.
Okay, usually they use diced, but here we don't have diced. We have crushed tomatoes with basil, 28 ounces. That's Harris Teeter brand. We have Hunt's 100% natural San Marzano style whole peeled tomatoes. And we have a third 28 ouncer of some fancy crushed tomatoes. Polpa di Pomodoro crushed tomatoes.
Tomatoes are tomatoes. They're gonna
Well, yes, but your texture. Shut up, Tiger. Your texture is going to be different based on Tiger. Please.
I would
They're
normally
filled.
use 2 cans of diced.
2 cans of diced, and
Diced, but I don't know where the heck they all are. It doesn't make
you
difference.
used them all in the chili that you made.
Well, yes. See, the chili you really want diced.
Mm-hmm.
These, it really doesn't make that much difference. 'Cause it's
Okay,
gonna
we'll
cook
see.
down. These are crushed. Okay, so, before you put the tomatoes in, you put the garlic in for about,
Speak up. Before you put the tomatoes in, you put the garlic in for.
about 45 seconds to just get it till you smell it.
I like that smell. Your stomach's gonna get sick again. What you got there? Oh, can't open it.
Can opener. That's how you open cans.
Yeah. Thank you for explaining. "45 seconds is up. Time for tomatoes."
Good thing.
So you don't flip your meatballs?
No, I don't like them.
Okay.
Look, I didn't broil them. They're broiling them. I'm baking them. Never heard of broiling them.
That's what the internet does.
Now that recipe,
They'd probably get all fancy with, oh, dice up fresh tomatoes and sprinkle salt on them and stuff. They just make it so it's more out of reach.
Excuse me.
What?
excuse me for a while.
Is that, we're taking a break?
Yes.
All right.
You technically would use 1 or 2 cans for each 1 pound of meat of the 28-ounce cans. In spaghetti sauce, it really doesn't make any difference. You can use diced or crushed. I like diced, but I just don't even have any because I used them in spaghetti. I mean chili. When I do chili, I really like diced. I think it just makes a different chili, almost. So we've had 2 pounds of meat. I'm putting in 4 cans of tomatoes. Because I don't have any of those super large cans of diced tomatoes that I get sometimes.
What do you mean super dark?
Large. Great big round cans. I'll use one of those.
The economy size or whatever?
No, it's the soup kitchen. It's like 100 and some ounces.
Jeez, sounds like the economy size to me.
Yeah, with these tomatoes. Shoot, these are whole tomatoes, I guess.
So you're gonna chop them up a little bit or what?
Yeah, they're whole peeled. So all I do is try to like cut it there.
Just dangerously swing around a sharp knife inside.
Well, here, we'll do it this way. Take the juice out. And cut the tomatoes.
I hope you washed your hands.
No, I never wash my hands. Mike.
What
do you mean? I washed my hands.
Okay.
I always,
You gotta set a good example. You're on film.
I always wash my hands. That's why I like working in a kitchen where there's a sink that you can just keep turning around and using.
I would hate to work in the kitchen without a sink.
Well, sometimes they're not real convenient. This one, the stove is right across from it. Sometimes the stove is too far away. And you don't have a tendency to wash your hands as much then. But there is something about when you're cooking and you're boiling stuff for a long time, that technically sanitizes it. According to your father, if you boil something for 6 minutes, you've gotten rid of all the bugs.
But you can't boil your hands for 6
No.
minutes.
Well, but you're boiling this stuff. And the reason I say that is one time I made a huge pot of soup. I made 2 gallons of chicken soup. Forgot to put it in the refrigerator before I went to bed. When I was done, I put it to the side to cool it a little. I started cooking it after supper. I had it out, and I forgot to put it. So the next day, I thought I had to throw it all away. Our father said, "No way, just boil it." I boiled the heck out. He said 6 minutes. I did half an hour. Nobody ever got sick with it. So there is something with it that as long as you can cook it. Now that was soup, so if you think about it, it's got a lot of liquid to it. I don't know if I would do it with everything, but it worked with that. I thought that was very interesting. But I was telling a chef about it, and he told me no way he would do that. And I said, well, I ate it. Never got
Yeah, a
sick.
chef has got a little bit more, he's
Training.
cooking for more than just his family. You can get away with, you know,
No, he told me I should never have done that. I
you
was
can
taking
get
a
away
huge
with
chance.
poisoning your family. You
Well,
can't get away with poisoning your customers.
I actually also took a cooking course from the extension agent for food, the food extension agent, which she was trained at NC State, and she's got an excellent reputation. And I was telling her, she said she wouldn't do it. And I said, well, it's something to think about. I'm not saying you would train people to do it that way, but it would.
So that one was crushed?
crushed. Yeah,
Okay.
but I've used all diced. I don't
Oh
use
yeah, we've been
whole.
over that.
And Hunt's diced are sweet. I think they're really good. But if some of these other ones, like these, I've heard these San Marzano I'm using, like in this, are supposed to be excellent. But I think the other ones are actually better. But these were cheaper when I went to buy them. They were a crazy sale because they usually are as expensive as heck. Okay, now comes down to all the stuff we got to put on it. Time.
Again. Oh wait, you put that in the meatballs already.
Yeah, but I already have you put one in there.
So thyme.
A teaspoon at least of thyme. Oregano. I got to shake this. It's one of those things. But
About how much?
another teaspoon. Which means you would do a half if you were using 1 pound of meat. You have to remember, I'm making a whole bunch more than I normally make.
So I can take it home with me?
Well, you're taking some of it. I don't know how much it is. Want to take it all the extra with you?
I mean, I'll take some.
Well, I know you take some.
Last time what I ended up taking home was only like 2 meals. What are you doing?
Pepper. Hot pepper thing? A teaspoon.
Red pepper flakes.
Red pepper flakes, right. Well, I gave you 2 meals. That's what I gave you.
Okay, that's what I just said. But sometimes I like to pig out. How much you got there?
2 teaspoons of salt.
Of course, sea salt.
Well, you can see,
You
that's
can
all
use
I
any
use.
salt. Okay.
If you use the regular salt, to me, regular salt, like regular iodized salt, has a steel taste to it that I hate. And then get a bunch of pepper in it.
A whole bunch.
Yeah, or half a teaspoon pepper.
Mix it all together. You got to narrate.
Oh, and then you keep mixing it so that it cooks and blends.
Oh, those meatballs have been in for half an hour now.
No,
25 minutes so far.
yeah. And now I'm going to get Parmesan cheese.
The Parmigiano
The Parmesan.
for the spaghetti. For the spaghetti. Give Fern a little sample.
She won't like this.
Oh, she loves it.
Parmesan is salty. It's a good. And I just put it in until I get tired of putting it in.
That's a pretty...
A quarter of a cup.
Okay. I mean, saying until you get tired of putting it in,
Yeah, that's what I do.
I mean, I get that, but I need an estimation because you might get tired before I would. Oh, just don't dump the entire thing in there.
I'm trying not to do.
So, is the rind of the Parmesan still Parmesan or?
Yeah, what you
Okay.
can do is when you have the rind left over, you can throw the rind in and let it
Yeah,
cook
because
it.
it'll cook down. It'll
Well,
disintegrate.
sometimes it takes a long time to cook it down.
Well, yeah,
But I do it a lot.
but you
in
just wouldn't
soups.
throw a brick of Parmesan in your spaghetti sauce.
No. Actually, one time they used to have a store called, I can't remember what, and at the store they sold a package of rind at like $4.99 for a whole big bunch of it, so I would buy those to put in my soups.
Are we getting close to like reaching a point where I guess you got it? What sort of heat are you cooking on this thing right now?
I'm just trying to bring it up to
So,
where you see it's
just
bubbling, and then I'll put it on
Just a
simmer
light, yeah, just simmering.
after it's cooking, but I gotta put the meatballs in before
Okay.
I get to that. I wanna make sure.
Meatballs have about 3 minutes left.
We're gonna go over and check them.
Don't touch on my spaghetti.
Move.
Oh, that ruined the shot. Hold on. Let's take a peek. And some brown meatballs. They're getting close. Are they there?
Yeah, I give them another 5 minutes.
Okay. Do you want them just like a little bit brown or like a little bit crispy on the outside?
I really don't really want them crispy in there.
Well, not crispy, but just like,
Cooked.
you know, just to the point. Do you want them moist on the outside or
Yeah, I look at the onion more to make sure the onion looks like it's cooked.
like is the onion just like barely browning at that point or what?
Correct.
Okay.
And you have to remember that if they're gonna be cooking more, because this stuff's gonna cook for another 2 hours.
Okay.
And that's a lot of time in cooking,
I know.
but that makes it a sauce.
But that's the sort of thing you do on the weekend when you're bored and you don't have any friends and, you know, you just,
Aw.
Friend?
hey, enough with the commentary.
Well, you can't have people over with COVID-19.
Well, yes, that was my point.
Okay.
Not that I have friends to invite over when this ends. Well, it was starting to get there. You can see it starting to breathe. Fern likes spaghetti. Right, Fern?
She likes the spaghetti,
She loves the spaghetti.
not the sauce.
She loves it at spaghetti. She likes the sauce. She likes the meatballs.
Oh, she would like the meatballs, but you gotta remember they got onion.
Oh yeah, but you just give her the meat parts. You don't give her the
How do you
onion.
know what the meat part is in the meatball?
I think she enjoys cooking with you.
And she thinks I'm gonna drop stuff on the floor.
Well, yeah, that's what she enjoys.
That's right, eating off
You
the
can't
floor.
deny that.
The other day she stood there. I have no idea. I wasn't cooking. I come here and she's licking over here like crazy. So I don't know what got spilled, but she sure liked it. Wasn't nowhere near dinner time or anything. How come?
Cheese. She's got a cheese.
No, this cheese she doesn't eat.
She loves cheese.
Yeah, well, at $20 a pound of it, she would.
Well, sounding less like a peasant now.
See how they browned more? The onions cooking. There's more dripping out of them.
Yes.
I'll finish. I think they're gonna need a little more time. I'll give them another 10 minutes. Oven might not have been hot enough.
So you're saying you might have, should have done 400?
No, no.
Okay.
Extend the time. Don't ever.
Slow cooking.
Well, the
You don't
thing
want to burn it.
is, it'll cook incorrectly. They would be raw on the inside.
Too
burnt
close
on
to the
outside.
camera.
I'm going over here to get a garbage bag.
Okay.
Put my cans in the garbage.
You don't throw it in the garbage. You recycle like
Excuse me, that's why I'm
a
putting it in the
civilized
garbage
human
bag.
being does in the 21st century.
Let's get the recycling
Hey.
in there.
That's what I'm doing. I'm putting it.
Okay, well you said you were going to put it in the garbage.
Well, yeah. it's-
No, garbage is not recycling. We are an environmentally friendly family here.
onion, I don't think worms eat onions.
Well, I didn't realize that that was specifically for the worms.
That's my worm bin. I gotta get a
She's into vermiculture, and she doesn't think that worms like onions,
Right.
but it would probably just make the onion or the worms stink. Alright, we're gonna take a break.
I am now going to take the lid off of my spaghetti sauce to make sure that it is not overcooking. I want it to be cooking slow. It's a little high, but I'm going to turn it down a little.
You want it to
I
simmer?
only want it to simmer.
Simmer down now.
And so I put the meatballs in, and we're fine. After I put the meatballs in and let it get going, I'm going to put it on a lower burner that doesn't blow up.
Okay, so what about other things that you could potentially be adding that you did not add
The other
this
things
time?
I could put in is mushrooms.
No, we didn't.
Oh, wait a minute. You could put mushrooms in.
You can, but that's
You
not
can
the way
put-
you've ever made this spaghetti.
Yes, I have. You can
Liar.
put
Olives.
will you wait? You can put olives in. And if my son wasn't eating it, we could have green pepper in it or red pepper. But my son doesn't like red pepper or green pepper, so I don't put it in.
You never used to make it that way, and you will never make that as long as I'm eating
My
your
mother
spaghetti.
taught me to make it that way.
Oh my gosh. Now, talk about the olives like we talked about.
Okay, if you're making 1 pound, you get these, there's a little can of chopped or sliced olives about that big. You could get one of that and dump it in, or if you're going to have
Is
2
it
pounds.
best to do that when you did everything else before, when you were mixing it all together?
Yeah, when you're putting
Okay.
everything, the tomatoes and
Okay.
all that stuff in.
And then if you wanted to put a bay leaf in, you could throw a bay leaf
Oh,
in.
bay leaf, thank you.
Not that it really does a whole lot.
It flavors, it does
It
a hell of a
flavors
lot.
it. Okay.
I have to find my bay leaves. I know they're here somewhere. Bay leaves are really good to go put in stew. That's where you need bay leaves. Stew, stew, stew. I don't know what my bay leaves. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do.
Not on this side. I don't think you have bay leaves.
I do. Look at these.
Bay leaves? Alright.
2 bay leaves.
2 bay leaves.
If it's 1 pound, 1 bay leaf. If it's 2 pounds, 2. They have, it's just a special flavor. Stew and spaghetti need bay leaves. They taste much better as stew. Want to know how to make stew?
Not this time.
Oh, okay, we'll do that.
Probably not
sometime.
ever, but your meatballs are getting close to being done, so let's take a minute to reflect here. Are you forgetting anything in this batch of spaghetti?
We have onion, garlic, meatballs, salt, pepper, thyme, oregano, those little seeds from the red pepper seeds,
Red pepper flakes?
flakes. Well, I call them seeds.
Well,
Are they the
there's
seeds?
seeds in there, but they're a mix of flakes and
I don't
seeds.
think they're really
It's
flakes.
when you buy it in the package, it says red pepper flakes. It doesn't say red pepper seeds.
Oh, it does. Crushed red pepper.
Okay, there you go. Red. Well, sometimes it says pepper flakes.
They got 2 of these. Oh, let's see. Okay. Hold on. Salt and pepper.
We said that. I think you got it all.
Onion, garlic,
Garlic.
salt, pepper, oregano, bay leaf, thyme,
Olive oil.
Olive oil. If you want to, you can put olives in, black olives. You gotta say black olives.
But not mushrooms, not red peppers.
Because Michael doesn't like them.
Sounds like the meatballs are getting near there. Is that the way you want it simmering?
Yes, no.
Yes,
Down
no?
more.
Okay, you're gonna turn it down more once you get the meatballs in.
Well, once I know they're all cooking. Yeah. Now look at it. See how they're a little more cooked?
Show me.
See how they're a little more cooked? You can tell it.
Okay, yes.
And they might be raw on the inside. You don't have to worry because you're going to be cooking them. Excuse me, I have to go over here and shut my oven door and turn the oven on.
It smells good.
Do you think it was going to taste or smell like crap?
You can't take a compliment, can you?
Well, this is supposed to.
No wonder they disintegrate. You just leave big chunks of them on the pan.
Well, here.
Okay. So now
It cooks.
it cooks. And you just leave it kind of on a low simmer for the next
Yeah,
two and a half
I'm
hours.
gonna switch it over to this because that's a turn on, turn off right now, and that's my hottest burner. And I don't want them on the hottest burner on turn off.
You just really want a low heat.
I want a low heat, but a consistent.
Yes.
So you really have to be careful.
You don't want to burn the bottom.
Well, that, and you want to make sure it's still cooking.
And you want to leave it covered so it doesn't dehydrate.
Well,
You might want it a little
actually,
bit.
I was going to dehydrate it about a half an hour because it's awful juicy, see? And I'd like it to thicken up a little.
Okay.
And it's going to thicken up when it gets going after a while.
Fern's starting to breathe heavy.
What the hell does that mean?
It means she's getting hungry. She knows spaghetti is coming. Fine tuning the heat there.
Well, we dumped one set of stuff into the others, and
Do you normally just stand there
now
and
some
stare at it?
people
Okay.
would grate a carrot in it for a little bit of sweetness.
Are we some people?
Not always, because I find if
Because you like
use-
to change your
if
recipe.
you know, if you use fresh tomatoes, I think they need a little sweetening unless they're really good tomatoes. And the canned tomatoes I put in here should be fine to make the sweetness enough. What you do is you wait, and after a while you just kind of taste.
Don't double dip.
Got to cook more. But I don't think it's sweet enough. Rather than putting sugar, what you do is you put grated carrot, and I mean fine grated, not
Okay.
big pieces, and that'll add sweetness to it. I am now going to wait. We will be eating at 7 o'clock, which is in an hour and a half.
Okay, I thought you said you would cook it for 2.5 hours.
Well, we started cooking at
Okay, well,
4:30.
I thought you meant, from the point where you get to this
You
stage.
can cook it for 6-7 hours.
Just depends on what time you start preparing and when everybody expects to eat.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually as long as it cooks a couple of hours.
What's the benefit to cooking it longer?
The flavors mold. It's just like, if you think about it, doesn't spaghetti
Don't
taste
say the flavors mold, because
They-
nobody thinks that mold is a good flavor.
meld?
Oh, okay.
The flavors will be more absorbed. The meat
Okay.
will go into the tomato stuff will go into the meat, and all the flavors get together.
Okay.
They enrich each other. God,
You're getting good at what? Complimenting yourself?
that's right. I quit.
Sunday, the hurricane will be on the Central America. Expected to slam the same areas through the evening. Hurricane Ada.
We're having sketties for supper. We're having sketties, aren't we, guys?
All right, are you going to talk about the noodles?
If you don't know how to boil noodles,
You don't
better
deserve
just
to learn how to
quit working on food.
just pay attention to what it says on the box.
You boil water and you put it in, and 5 to 10 to 12 minutes, depending what the box tells you, you pull it out.
Fern, where'd you go?
Burn.
Fern, she's eating spaghettis.
I'll split it for you. It's here. Gee, I can't get it off my fingers. Here it is.
I'll get some too. We're almost
want
there,
some?
so, well, I'm going to eat it in greater quantities, but, so, the spaghetti sauce is
Cooking,
cooking.
marinating.
You don't marinate
Do you see how it
spaghetti
went
sauce.
down a little bit? It boiled the
Oh,
water.
yes.
Okay.
That's part of the reduction process.
Oh, yes, there we go, the reduction.
Douglas?
No, it's not supper time yet.
Oh.
I'm gonna go sit and watch movies.
How long do you let the noodles... What would you do? You dump half the noodles out into
No,
the
I
sink?
did not dump half the noodles out.
3/4? Fern's ready for spaghetti.
What's this?
Fern's ready for spaghetti.
I thought you said Columbia.
Oh, Columbia.
Hey Tom, this is likely to be our second major hurricane in the month of November. Cat 3 or 4 at landfall late tomorrow night in the vicinity of the
Move, dog. This damn thing's heavy. No. Oh, shit. Dog.
Don't call her a shit dog.
Oh, shit. No, it's a dog. You call it a shit dog.
Somebody touching my spaghetti.
Well, wait till it comes down. Jesus. Here, try it. Ooh, you got it. Jesus, you gonna eat it?
That's a spicy meatball. Right?
This is a hungry mother.
Look how excited Fern is. You made her favorite dinner. You gonna make a mess?
What were we sitting here doing for the last 15 minutes, waiting to eat?
Well, you told him he wasn't gonna be eaten yet, so.
Well.
Somebody touching my spaghetti.
Your spoon thing or your measure is over here, Dave.
What are you thankful for today?
I instructed Michael how to make spaghetti.
That's not what you're thankful for. That's what I'm thankful for.
And I'm thankful that Michael taught me, showed me how to copy,
Stuff off your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna end the video because we're gonna start eating.
No, you didn't say what you're thankful for.
I said I'm thankful that you finally, got through this spaghetti deal with me.
Oh, okay.
So now, eat.
Say a prayer.